wounds on her face and body, one piercing the abdomen. She lost her baby, but her life will be spared.
当時そのようにして一人もほとんどの処女がいないというくらいに日本人が強姦し臨姦されましたので、
中国行って私は日本人の子がたくさんできてると思うの。ほんまにもうおそらくどの部隊もやってるわ。衛生隊なんか特にそうよ。
After massive rape in Nanjing, when the events were extensively reported to the world by the Western journalists, the Japanese government find that they have to deal with this problem some other way. Consequently, they brought large number of Korean women to China and to provide sex services to the Japanese soldiers. They were called by the Japanese the comfort women.
たとさ、俺はたとえ朝鮮に生まれてもとにかく16歳でちょっと満州事件の時行っちゃったから全部数えたらちょうど足かきなおめえ7年になるんだよ。ちょうどね15歳行ってそれで自分ヤングだったかって言ってたって分かんねえべや。こうやってその時私たちばかりの年の若い者ばかりじゃなくそこで22、3人もいればあと40近くの女もいだったから彼らも分かんないわけだ。自分ヤングって言ってたって分かんないわけさ。だからまあとにかく行ってみれば分かるんだって言ったから。
であとはお金が儲かるからとか非常にいい仕事がある、あるいは軍隊で働いてもらう、あるいは缶詰工場で働くというような形で、違う仕事だと思ってでついていったところが実は軍の慰安所であったと、そういった騙されたケースもあります。であとは全く強制的にこう拉致されて連れて行かれたと。
それにもう兵隊30人ぐらいの慰安婦はおったでないかと思うんです。また他にもたくさんその慰安所もあったと思いますが、自分らの見た範囲ではそれぐらいと思いますが、それ30人ぐらいの時間を決められて朝の10時頃からですか、もう昼からの3時かなぐらいが時間でない思うんですけど、それで衛生隊のその隊から各中隊に配られたその入場券ですな、サックをと一緒に渡されて、
それ他にはもう相手しない。だからその軍人たちが通過部隊として討伐行くとか戦争で行くとかってなった場合には忙しいから、もう50年も同じ50年以上も取ってる場合もあるんだから、だからもうこれは大変だったよ実際は。
そしてお砂と言って家の前に集まって慰安所に集まって、そういう一人がなんですね、3分か5分もあったらね用事を足すというようなことでしょうか。もうね、靴脱いでちょっとズボンを垂らすぐらいでね雇ったような風です。
だから妊娠であるが何であるがもうやるわけさ。7ヶ月になった時やっぱり商売なもんだから、なるべくなら兵隊たちはやりたいべし、そう商売やらしる人間たちはやらしていべし、借りは取りたいべし、だから本人の体はちっとも考えるわけだ。中波でもないんだから、無茶なことやらしいから。とそれはね、多分4回ぐらいあったと思うんだ。4回ぐらい2人ぐらいか3人ぐらいとにかくね死んだ子供をなしたし、生きた子供はシナ人さやったし、あと1人は朝鮮の女子さやったし、2人は一つは聞いたと思うんだ。だからね、いろいろ考えればさ、罪はだんだん罪になるわけだからさ、もうこんなことなんかいちいち子供のことしむ、今なんか子供欲しくねえから、用でもないんだから、自分の体がね 逃げることが手いっぱいなんだから。
これは正式の軍の公文書ですが、その中に、
This is an official letter from the Northwest troops under General Nagasaburo.
が出した所属部隊の通帳があります。そのようなですね、強姦事
This
件を防止す
document
る
is
ため
proof
に
that in order to prevent further
な
rape
るべく速
incidents,
やかに慰安
the
所を作れ
military gave orders to create comfort
軍の所
stations.
属部隊に命令しているという資料ですけど。
I am so sad every time I go out on the street that I seldom go out anymore. Nanjing is but a shadow, a sad and dejected shadow of what it once was.
It was now 2 months since the occupation of Nanjing began, and yet the atrocities continued daily. On January 18th, 2 men came to us, both shot through their arms. Another was shot through his jaw and neck. There is perhaps no purpose to be served by going further with this story. How this situation should be dealt with, I shall leave to abler minds than mine to consider.
Japanese war criminals, including former Premier Hideki Tojo, go on trial in Tokyo to answer for the aggressive cruelty which they sponsored. The trial is comparable to that of the Nazi warlords in Nuremberg, and the prisoners are charged with crimes against humanity and peace, and finally with just plain murder.
You do solemnly swear to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Be seated.
Were you in Nanjing throughout the month of December 1937, January and February 1938?
I was. It was unbelievably terrible. The killing began immediately in several ways. These people were being killed by rifle fire and machine gun principally. Also, we knew of groups of several hundred being bayoneted to death. One woman told me that her husband's hands were tied in front of her, and he was thrown into a pond, and they stayed there and wouldn't let her rescue him. He was drowned before her face.
Mr. Matsui, you are one of the accused in this trial, are you not? Well,
Yes,
Matsui Iwana, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
What? I plead not guilty.
Kimura Heitaro, how do you plead?
I plead not guilty.
Koiso Kuniaki, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
I plead not guilty.
Matsuoko Yosuke, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty. Oh, very sad. Not guilty.
father was asked to testify at the war crimes trials in Tokyo. He took the atrocity films with him, but for some reason, which I don't understand, his films were never shown at the trial itself.
Tokyo trial was a real travesty. It was orchestrated by the United States. In 1948, when communism in China became a real threat to the rest of Asia, the United States needed Japan to be a close ally. Therefore, the trial was abruptly ended before its completion. Criminals of war were set free. Emperor Hirohito, from all evidences we have, as a major instigators of the war, was not even prosecuted. Instead, he was portrayed as a benevolent ruler.
For the first time in the recorded history of Japan, an emperor meets his people on common ground. Inspecting war-blasted Yokohama, Hirohito mingles with workmen and gets a first-hand impression of life in post-war Japan. On this precedent-shattering occasion, Hirohito conversed with many of his subjects, very different from the days when his people were even forbidden to look upon the sacred presence. The occupation of Japan by United States forces dissolved the mysteries of the imperial household and brought the Son of Heaven face to face with his people. The symbol of the rising sun may well foretell a better government for the Japanese, and Hirohito's growing democracy will play an important part.
The conviction of war criminals was never fully pursued. We constantly remind the world about Hiroshima, but we do not reflect upon our own past as an aggressor.
As ordinary human beings, people do not like to remember uncomfortable things. So unless we make conspicuous, elaborate efforts, people tend to forget what their fathers, their grandfathers did in China, in Korea, etc.
1937年に南京大学が起こっておりますけれども、その時もう世界中に広く伝えられていたにもかかわらず、今日まで、日本の政府は南京大学と公式に認めたことはありません。
南京虐殺につきましてはですね、先ほども申し上げました通りに、そういう事実があったということは、私は否定いたしません。大変に不幸な事件で、中国の方々にはお詫びを申し上げなければいけない事件であったと思います。
総理から何かお言葉ありました。
そうです。
京都の戦争店の人たちがね証言してほしいと言って